back, welcome back, welcome back. We're going to be making chicken fried chicken today. It's like chicken fried steak, but we're going to be using chicken, ground chicken. So chicken fried chicken. Vegetable oil, breadcrumbs, some granulated onion, smoked paprika, Mrs. Dash, some steak seasoning, some garlic salt, some Worcestershire sauce. We're going to use that butter spray. We're going to need an egg, and this is 2 pounds of ground chicken. All right. Let's get cooking. All right, I've got that ground chicken in there. I went ahead and cracked that egg. And now we're going to go ahead and season this up. This is a really simple recipe. I started making this years ago when my kids said there was too much gristle and chicken fried steak and that it just wasn't tender enough for them. A tablespoon of smoked paprika. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of granulated onion. It's more like 2. I would say 2. Let's just go with 2 tablespoons. That's the steak seasoning. And this is another one of those dishes where you season it to your family's taste and to your family's liking. It's hard to mess this up, even if you don't put any seasoning in it at all, because you know at the end you're going to use the gravy. And that was Mrs. Dash. This is the garlic salt. I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of that Worcestershire. And then we're going to go in with about 1.5 cups of the breadcrumbs. And then we're just going to mix this all up. This is, like I said, you know, I came up with this for my kids. And back in the day, I didn't use ground chicken. I would go and put it in the food processor myself and make my own. I didn't buy the ground chicken out of the store. And which is another way to do your ground chicken. I mean, it's really awesome to do it that way. It's cheaper, and you always have it on hand. Get your boneless, skinless chicken, be it the breast, be it the thighs, although I'm a fan of the thighs. And that's all you do. Put it in your food processor, chop it all up. I'm going to put a little bit more breadcrumb in here, about another 1/2 cup, so that's going to be 2 cups. You kind of have to gauge this for the thickness that you want. And me, I want mine to be a little, not thickness, but sturdy. Okay? And we are going to freeze these so that they can set up. And then that way it'll be easier for us to bread them. But like I said, I made these for my kids for years. You know, when they're little like that, it's easier for them to deal with this. You want chicken. You don't want them to eat. Well, I didn't want my kids to have a whole lot of beef. And again, to each its own. Okay? I wanted them to have plenty of healthy as much as I could. Alright? So then we're just going to form these into balls. Make the balls as big as you want. Alright? Make the balls as big as you want here. Roll them on up. Alright, as you can see, that's the palm of my hand. That's how big I want my balls to be. And we're going to flatten these out. And I'm going to show you how I do that as well. I just kind of squish mine together. Squish them together. And then I kind of roll it. Alright. And I'm putting them on a wax piece of paper. So that they don't stick. So I'm just going to continue to keep making these. And I'll be back. Okay, now we're getting ready to start forming our patties. Remember what I said, very important step. Spray down your wax paper, okay, because we're going to have to freeze these patties so that they can set up. Be generous with it. Don't be afraid to use it. Put one here. And remember, you need to space these out a little bit. So I'm going to put 3 on here at a time. You need to spray both sides of your wax paper. You need to spray both of them. Because like I said, it will stick. And it would be a disaster because you will not be able to get it off of there. Move that one down a little bit. And then you just put that on top and then you smash it. Just smash it down. You can make these as thin as you like or as thick as you like. I like mine to have a little thickness to them. Not too thick, but not too thin. Okay, that's a little close. I'm going to move this patty over. So you wouldn't be able to do that if your wax paper wasn't greased down good for you. Okay, we just flatten them out. And then eventually, once you finish making these up and flattening them out, then you need to put them in the freezer at least 6 hours. At least 6 hours. So this isn't something that you can, I wouldn't advise doing this the same day, unless you got that kind of time. I normally put mine in the freezer and then do them the next day. Or sometimes I'll make these patties up and I'll just have them in the freezer ready to go when I'm ready, which is also an option. Put them in the freezer, have them ready for you. And I put them on a cookie sheet and I put them in the freezer. See how simple this is? So I'm going to finish this up, doing exactly what I just showed you, and I'll be back. I take those, put them right on top on this cookie sheet. As you can see, I've got 2 layers going on there, and then I'll just keep going. But you don't want to space them out too much because you don't want them to touch the sides of your cookie sheet. That way it's easier for you to put them in your freezer. That's what I do. Welcome to do it any way you want to. And then I'm going to finish these up. I'm going to put them in the freezer. They're going to go for at least, I'm going to leave mine in overnight, but you need to at least give it 6 hours to really set up and get hard. All right. I'll be back when it's time for the next step. All right. So now we're going to get our dredging ready. This is flour. I've got 2 eggs and 1/4 cup of milk. And then I've got my breadcrumbs. I had to use some Italian to rinse out the plane. And then I just put seasoning, about 2 tablespoons I'm going to put in the flour. And then I'm going to put a tablespoon in the breadcrumbs and in the egg wash. And I'm going to do the same thing with the garlic salt. About 2 tablespoons of my flour. I'm putting less because I don't want as much. And I've made this a million times, so I know exactly how much my seasonings need to be. This is one of those ones that you might want to kind of test out your own thing. And then I'm going to put about a tablespoon of paprika in the flour. About a teaspoon in the dredging. And a teaspoon in the egg wash. Alright? Then I'm just going to mix those up. And then we're going to get the breading, our fried chicken. Yes, we are. All right, let me get them out the freezer. I'll be right back. All right, once we get them out the freezer, see how well they peel? That's the reason why we use the cooking spray. Otherwise, if you don't use that cooking spray, they are going to stick. And it's no fun getting the paper off. I did it one time because I forgot. So you must use that cooking spray. Okay? That one kind of wanted to stick. See how good those patties are looking? Kept them in the deep freezer overnight. But you definitely have to let them sit in there long enough to set up. So a minimum of 3 hours, okay? Guess I should have used more cooking spray, huh? And these are so good. When my children were younger, this is the only way I could get them to eat chicken fried steak in a sense. Because they didn't like the gristle that was in the steak. So I came up with doing it, chicken fried chicken with ground chicken. And there we go, voila. That part is done. Now we're just gonna dredge it. See how good they turned out? You can make them thicker if you want to, completely up to you. And there they go. Now we're gonna dredge them and get them ready for the skillet. I'll be right back. All right, we're gonna start our little dredging station here, which is really simple, really easy. We've got our egg wash, our flour, and our breadcrumbs. You can do yours any way you want to. Our flour and breadcrumbs, you can use any brand you want. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I did that wrong. I said flour, breadcrumbs, and still stuck them in the egg first. Yes, I did. So you do egg wash. Here I go doing it again. It's flour. You're going to do flour. Then after the flour, you put it in the egg wash. And then you put it in the breadcrumbs. One fried chicken done. It's flour. And as you notice, one wet hand, one dry hand. Flour. Then get that flour off there. Put it in the egg wash. Then put it in the breadcrumbs. And then you just repeat until you're completely done. And then we get it in the skillet. All right, I'm going to keep going. And I'll be back. Let me get that glove off. All right, I'm going to finish dredging these and I'll be right back. Okay, this is what she looks like. We've got them all breaded up. We've got 9 of these patties here. And I will be making some gravy as well. All right. I guess I could show you that. Hold on. This is the gravy that I'll be using right here. All right. Okay, let's get frying. Okay, at this point, I believe we can get 3 of these in here. And we're going to cook 3 at a time. And I'm going to cook it at least 4 minutes on the first side, and then the next side will probably be about 3. You want to get them good and golden brown. And if you notice, I didn't make my patties very thick. Okay, so they'll cook faster. All right, I'll be back when it's time to flip. About 3 to 4 minutes. I just flipped them over. Look how beautiful that is. And it was actually 5 minutes because I wanted them to be good and golden brown. So you might have to gauge it. So anywhere between, I would say just average it about 5 minutes a side. Make it safe, make it good. All right, there we go. 5 minutes a side. How delicious. So I'm going to keep on going until all the batches are done. 5 minutes each side. Yum, yum. Let's keep it going. And there is our fried chicken. Yum, yum. I'm telling you, you better make some. Things made easy with Gigi. All day, every day. And that's that pepper gravy we made. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and feel free to share. Fried chicken. That's what we made there. Yum, yum. Take care, you guys.